to bestow the precious Dharma teachings. Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao-Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Tupten Darji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice tonight, Guru Padmasambhava. Sumo, Tanzan Gyatso, Tuten Siddhi, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
你好，大家好。愛してる。サランゲ。オラミコ。ケケロムチョ。すごい。一番。気持ちいい。住民。やび。ブリンブリン。こんばんは。今天我们修这个莲花生大士的法。
Today we practice the Dharma practice of Guru Padmasambhava. And Guru Padmasambhava entered Tibet and spread Buddha Dharma there for 50 years. He's the first founder of Tantric Buddhism. So he is the patriarch or the foremost guru of the Nyingma of the Great Perfection Dharma or Dzogchen, commonly known as Dzogchen. But not only the sect, but all the Tibetan Tantrayana sect highly revere Guru Padmasambhava. We can say that he's the first patriarch or guru, lineage guru. And we know in his 10 physical emanations of Guru Padmasambhava and his Buddha verse or Pure Land, can be said that it is that he is a highly revered and a great guru or patriarch. And Guru Padmasambhava was also a Padmakumara of an emanation of Amitabha as Padmakumara too. So the birth of Guru Padmasambhava, he was born out of a lotus. Therefore, one of his name was Lotus Born. Lotus Born Bodhisattva. Then, of course, he's one of the earliest Padmakumaras. Oh, he's the earliest Padma Kumara. Because Padma Kumara too is an emanation of Amitabha Buddha, and Guru Padmasambhava too also emanated from Amitabha Buddha, so they had the same origin. And the mantra, Oma Hom Pecha Guru Padma Siddhi Homse. So he's the earliest guru in Tantric Buddhism. So during the era of Guru Padmasambhava, Tantrayana was considered the ancient or the old sect. So Nyingma was the earliest sect of Tibetan Buddhism. And his Dharma practices, the Great Perfection Dharma belonged to Nyingma, and Mahamudra belonged to Kagyupa. And for Sakyapa was Lamde, and Yamantaka Dharma belonged to Gelugpa. But all these four great Dharma, they are similar to the Great Perfection Dharma. The other three and the Great Perfection Dharma are quite similar. Not that much difference between them, among them. If you research the Tibetan Tantrayana, you would know, although Guru Padmasambhava was the guru, lineage guru of the Nyingma, but all the other sects also highly revere him, so his position is very high. Therefore, he's one of our 8 principal deities of True Buddha School. So our True Buddha School also highly revere Guru Padmasambhava. I have a joke here that's quite similar. 2 people having a dialogue. He said, oh, I want to be a billionaire, similar to my uncle. And then B asked, then your uncle must be a billionaire too. And he said, no, he's not. And then maybe multimillionaires? No. He just wants to be a billionaire. This is considered a joke. I remember a similar joke. In America, someone asked him, how much is your salary every month? And he replied, what is your monthly salary? And he answered, $100,000 US. Every month. Wow. That's quite shocking. So then he asked him, so what do you do? And he said, oh, I'm dreaming. I do dreams, something like that. similar to joke.
这个一定是感情受沧桑的人、创伤的人写出来的笑话。
This must be a joke written by someone heartbroken.
日后，
And he said, when I have money, I would open a hospital, especially to cure the broken-hearted people.
这情所伤的人要什么药可以治呢？
And what kind of medicine to use?
有中西药。
They have Chinese medicine and Western medicine. The Chinese medicine is called the soup of forgetting. After you drink it, you forget everything. And the Western medicine is called the elixir of merciless hearts. And then if you need IV, then the water is called the water of forgetting love. There's a song about that. And the name of the hospital? It's with one slice or one snap of the sword broke into 2 parts. Someone is called Ah Chai, coming home at after 11 p.m. As he was passing by other rooms in the building, he heard a kid crying, and the mom was saying, like, if you keep crying, the ghost outside will capture you. And this person was trying to help other people, so he's helping and said, you should listen to her, your mom is not lying. And then the mom and the kid are crying together. The ghost is here. Now we'll get on to the main subject. Question from Malaysia. The Q&A. Homage Grandmaster, I have a question. May I lend the chanting beads, amulets, Dharma implements, Buddhist statues to other people who need them, such as family members, friends, or even people we don't know? In which situation may we lend them these things, and which situation is not allowed? So, chanting beads, amulets, Buddhist statues, Dharma implements, loan to people who need them, family members, friends, or even people we don't know. When it is okay and when it's not. What kind of question is this? Question from Lianhua Milan from Malaysia. So is there a problem with this question? So her amulets, Dharma implements, Buddhist statues that she enshrines, can be loaned to what kind of people. It's a strange question. I've never thought of it. I've never thought of such issue. How can she think of such a question? Do you loan your amulets to other people? No. Do you loan your Dharma implements to other people? Do you rent your Buddhist statues? You should come and ask your question. This is your personal question. It's not a common question. You know, if it's a common question, we can answer it publicly, but this is a personal question. And Grandmaster never thought of renting Buddhist statues, you know, loan. It's not like give, it's lending. It's not giving. Anybody has thought of such a question? Nobody. There's no need to answer, okay? Well, in this case, then it would be a personal question. Then I can answer. Then I can ask you, why are you lending your Dharma statues or Dharma implements? And then when you loan, that means you accept money. If you ask about giving, maybe I can answer, but you give the amulets to other people or your Dharma implements. That makes sense, but you're lending them. So Lianhua Meilan, please come to the Seattle Lechang Temple, and then I would answer it personally, because nobody else is loaning their Buddhist statues. Now we will expound on Vimalakirti Sutra, Chapter 1, Buddha verse. Thus have I heard, at one time, the Buddha was in the Amra garden near the city of Vaisali, accompanied by 8,000 great bhikkhus, 32,000 bodhisattvas, and the assembly of virtuous and knowledgeable spiritual practitioners. Their attainments of the great wisdom and fundamental conduct were solely due to the divine might of the Buddhas. Together they form a Dharma protecting fortress to uphold the true Dharma. They are able to roar the lion's roar that resounded throughout all 10 directions. So now we will expound on this phrase. Their lion's roar resounded throughout all 10 directions. Most explanations or most commentaries on this phrase are very simple. That the great bhikkhus and the great bodhisattvas, they can speak on the Dharma like the roar of a lion. So, like a lion's roar. lion
就是 lion。
in Chinese
狮子在叫，
狮子。
因为他是百兽之王，这狮子一叫，所有的那个动物全部都听了都会心生恐惧。
So when the lion roars, all the animals would be scared
意思就是
and
讲说，这
become
些大比
obedient
丘、大菩萨
and
说
follow.
话，就像
So
狮子
what
吼
it
一样，
means here is that when the great bhikkhus and the great
能够向
bodhisattvas
众
speak on
生
Dharma, they are like the
让众生
lion's
顺服
roar,
佛
so
法。
that they can subdue
因此，这
sentient
些大比
beings,
丘啊，
so
大菩
that
萨，
they
他
follow
们的
them.
名啊，
The sentient beings follow
他
them.
们的名望，
So
传
their
遍了十方。
their
那
fame
这句就是这样子解
spread
释就可以
throughout
了，
all
就
10
了。
directions. That's all the
一
explanation.
般这个法师说法就这样一句就结束了。
So most
大比丘、大
of
菩萨
the
说法像狮子吼，
explanation
都
of
能够驯服所有众生。
Dharma of the monks are like
所以
that,
他们
monks in
大比丘跟大菩萨，他们名闻十
So
方。
because when the great
大家都知
bhikkhus
道，
and great
这是
bodhisattvas
大比丘跟
teach
大菩萨。
Dharma, it's like a lion's roar. That's why their
这一
fame
句就解释完了。
spreads
所
throughout
有的
all
法
10
师都是这样子
directions.
讲。
That's all the
讲维摩诘
explanations
经
of all the masters who explain
维摩诘跟我
Vimalakirti
讲，
Sutra. But
不
Vimalakirti
是
told
这
me,
样的。
no,
那
that's
是怎
not
么
the
样的？
case. Then what it is then? What is it then?
啊，你们当中啊，举手看看，能
Okay,
够
please try and raise
讲
your
的跟
hand
师尊的意思
if you can
一样的
say
话，
it
给他讲解
according to
反正这个国际
grandmasters
不是我在管，
grandmasters
这
what
是很好
grandmaster
的。哇，
has in
里面
mind,
好多
then
佛菩
you
萨
would get a gift. Oh, this is good. Because the Buddhist gift shop is not mine anyway.
哦，这是
It's
十
not
人
under
金
my
刚佛，
control. Oh, this one is Kalachakra
师
Buddha.
佛。
Wow, Kalachakra Buddha.
好，举手，你讲。
Please raise your hand.
尊顶礼师尊，感恩师尊。
How much
认为
Master?
这个
Thank you.
大比丘能够正确无误的说出如来的这个
The fact that the great bhikkhus can talk about the ultimate dharma of the Tathagatas, it would become like a lion's roar. Okay, please be seated.
其实讲的都是对的，讲的都对的。
They're all
但是
right,
师尊想的
but
不是对的。
that's not what Grandmaster is thinking.
还有吗？好，连追。
Okay, 连追。
能狮子吼是指空间，骗十方。能狮子吼是指
So
没有时间，骗十方
roar,
是
the
指没有
lion's
空间，
roar
所以能够周遍一切
is
没有时间空间，这就是
no
能狮子吼，名闻十方。谢谢师尊。
no time and 10 directions, no space, so there's no time and space.
讲的都很
Please
好
be。seated.
还有吗？
What you say are all good.
好，大师。
Okay, Ambassador.
顶礼师尊，谢谢师尊给我们机会来练习狮子吼。
Thank you, Grandmaster, for giving us a chance to roar
佛
our
陀当
lion's
年
roar.
叫弟子要狮子吼，
The Buddha
是
taught
说
the
就像
disciples
前面法
to
师讲，
give a lion's
你要
roar,
对正法很
like
清楚
what the
要练
reference
到
said,
四无爱，
that you need to
四无爱
comprehend
就
the
是
true
法无
Dharma
爱，义
and
无
to
爱，
master
言辞
the
无
four
爱，答辩无爱。当你能够无爱的时候，你就不怕。狮子
hindrances,
之所以能够吼叫，就是
non-hindrances. then you have no fear whatsoever. And the lion can give a lion's roar because they are fearless. Like Grandmaster, when giving Dharma teaching, is very smooth, will not be a stumbling. And even when he's being challenged, is not afraid because we are all small animals. Then the lion is not afraid of the small animals. So you need to think about free of hindrances, and then to be unconditional, non-leaking, non-leakage of the six fruits. When you can reach that state, and the Buddha can tell that they have no leakages, but how about you know that I'm a lion and you're not? So what hinder our spiritual cultivation? And the Buddha said this and that. And he dares to face the challenges, so he's fearless, like the lion. And roaring very loudly and confidently. And then you also know the highest enlightenment, the methods to attain it, which can be spoken only by the Buddha and Grandmaster. So I dare to say it, and I don't care anybody challenging me. And I'm as a lion, I'm not afraid of it, and all the small animals can challenge me. So the great bhikkhus and great bodhisattvas learn to the extent, to some extent, that can be like that. They are not as good as the Buddha, but they can represent the Buddha. So they can speak on the Dharma and explain the sutras, and without hindrance and without fear, and reach all 10 directions. Those are all good, very good, but yeah, to explain this phrase very clearly and very good. But what I mean, according to Vimalakirti, the great master, the guidance from the great master Vimalakirti is like this. Also talking about the lion's roar. Vimalakirti told me the lion's roar is no big deal. So what is a true lion's roar? I asked Vimalakirti, what is the lion's roar? And Vimalakirti said, inside the Vimalakirti Sutra, there is a statement which is the lion's roar. And I asked him, which one? And Vimalakirti strike a thunder when he's silent. So when you don't say anything, that's a lion's roar. So that's what Vimalakirti told me. So silence is the lion's roar. So I thought of the loudest sound in the world is the sound of thunder. Any other sounds are useless. You don't say anything, you're completely silent. That's the thunder. Vimalakirti said, when you don't say anything, that's the sound of thunder. Do you know that Grandmaster Lu is expounding on the Vimalakirti Sutra on the first night, at the beginning, there were strikes and sounds of thunders in the sky above the Seattle Lechang Temple.
那个雷声啊，那一天啊，没有下雨。
And on that day, it was not
也是晴
raining.
空，
It was clear blue sky.
而且雷声
And the sounds of thunders
大家
were
都讲，哎，
very
响雷，
loud
跟
and
我讲，师
bright.
兄刚刚有响雷，
And
我
they
就跟
told
你
me,
讲这个响雷的事。
Grandmaster, there were
那是
sounds
维
of
摩诘
thunders,
讲维摩
and I did
诘
not
经
say anything. That was
维摩
because
诘本身道，
Vimalakirti spoke on the Vimalakirti Sutra, and when Vimalakirti arrives, the thunder strikes.
这狮子吼跟雷声比起来，狮
So
子吼算什么？
comparing to
那
thunder,
个雷
what
响
is
起
a
来的
lion's
那
roar?
种力量啊，
The power of
天地都
the
震动。
thunder, even the heaven and earth will
今天我
tremble.
们这个师尊的属于生活中的寺庙，都叫雷藏寺。
Grandmaster's temples and centers
雷
are
啊，
all called Li Zhang
雷
Temple,
声
which
是最大，
means the store of
但
thunders,
是以
the
什么为
temples
最
of
大？
the stores of
扛起
thunders.
来最大。
So thunder is the
没有
greatest,
响
but when
雷
it
的
is stored, it is even
寺
greater.
庙就是雷藏起来的寺庙。
So like hidden thunder temples, and that is the greatest thunder. The
今天
loudest
你如
thunder
果
is
讲
the hidden thunder.
这个天雷赢过狮子吼，
If you
我就把这
say
个讲
that
法
the
给你
thunder in
师
the
尊这样就
sky
写了
wins over the lion's roar, then I would give you this amulet of
没有话可
Kalachakra,
说，不说法的时候，
that it's unspeakable when you
维摩诘
don't
讲
give Dharma teaching.
那不是辩才无碍，
That's
比
not
辩才无碍更高，
unhindered
就是不说话，不
debit.
说谎。
It's even
那一个
higher
时候
than that. It's when you're silent.
就是天雷响的
The
时候，
moment of silence is when the
那
thunder
是最
strikes,
大
and that
的
is
雷声。
the loudest sound of
有响雷
thunder.
啊！那一天第一次讲维摩诘经的时候，
So on the
天上
first,
响雷，
at the beginning
我
of
也
the
不说话，
Vimalakirti
你们大
Sutra
家在讲
exposition,
雷声雷声，
the
我们
thunders
打雷打
striked,
雷，
and
西雅
people
图
were
很少听
talking
到
about
雷声，
that. It's rare for us in
听到
Seattle
雷
to
声最
hear
少
the
是，
thunders. Very
但
rare.
是维摩诘讲
So
最大的
that's
宇
what
宙之间
Vimalakirti
最大的
said,
声音是雷
that the loudest sound
雷声。
in the universe is the sound
我
of
今天在讲，
thunders. So
如果
today,
按照维摩诘所讲的，雷声的声音最大，没有错。
if according to
另外还有几个雷，你不知
Vimalakirti,
道吗？
the sound of
5个雷
thunder
啊，
is the
有
loudest.
5个雷。
You don't know. There are 5
第一个就是
kinds of
维摩诘讲
thunders.
天雷，
The first kind
声音
is
最大，
the thunder in
比
the
狮子吼
sky,
还大。
the loudest, louder than the
第二个
lion's roar. The second,
地雷，
the
哦不是讲
earthly
的战争那个
thunder,
地雷，
which in Chinese also sounds like a,
那个水雷，水雷。
what's it called?
什么是地雷？地震，威力无穷。地
Mine,
震
you
一
know,
来
like
啊，所有的
mines.
动物通通都抖。
But
没有不
what
抖
is
的
the
啦，
earthly thunder? That's
那是
earthquake.
地雷。
When the earthquake comes, all the animals
地
ran
震。
away.
佛经里面常常提到，
So it's often mentioned in the
东
sutras
边起来，西边沉没。
that the east rises and the west
真正的地震
descends,
是这样子，
and
最大的
the
地震很厉害的
the
是那
south
那个
rises
就
and the
是
north falls. That's the greatest earthquake. And the third kind is the water thunder. What is that? Oh, that's tsunami. When the tsunami is here, everybody is so scared and ran away from the coast. And when the tsunami comes, the people can be swept away. That's the water thunder. And then the fire thunder. What is the fire thunder? Is this like a burning house? No, that's volcanic eruptions. Then everybody will run away. So a lion's roar is only at the mountain, and the animals on the mountain would be scared. But volcanic eruption, the whole city can be buried. It's been in the history. The whole city disappeared. It's even written in the Bible. And what was the most famous city? Pompeii. Everybody knows. The whole city was buried. So volcanic eruptions was also incredible. That's the fire thunder. And then the wind thunder, which is the hurricanes or typhoon. In America, hurricanes or typhoon in Taiwan. So the 5 kinds of thunders. So none to be scared of. So when they sound, they're even greater than the lion's roar, right? So what you all said was right. What the true Dharma and free from hindrances and eloquence. And Vimalakirti too was master in debate. And nobody won over him in debates. That's why the Buddha's disciples, which are the Arhats, including Maitreya Bodhisattva and the Shangyan youth, were afraid of Vimalakirti because he's a master of debate. Nobody could win over him. Only Manjushri Bodhisattva was on par with him. And when Manjushri Bodhisattva asked him something, Vimalakirti was quiet. So Manjushri Bodhisattva was still and Vimalakirti was silent. And then both of them sounded the thunder. Only the most wisdom, the first and foremost in wisdom, Manjushri Bodhisattva, can be on equal footing with Vimalakirti. So when Sakyamuni Buddha asked people to visit Vimalakirti, when he was sick, nobody dared to go. So that's why his reputation in that city was truly enigmatic, and the Buddha's disciples, none of the Buddha's disciples dared to debate with Vimalakirti or to face Vimalakirti. So when Vimalakirti is silent is when the celestial or the sky thunders strikes. That's why when I started to expound Vimalakirti Sutra, there were thunders resounding in the sky. Everybody heard it, right? And it's rare to have thunders, but that day we did have them. And on my birthday, which is June 16th, now it's June 18th. So 2 days ago, there was a special astronomical phenomena. They're talking about 7 stars coming into line, and the TV said 5 stars, and it happened. The last time it happened 77 years ago. So only once in my lifetime. No, 77 years. So that may be twice then, because on the year that I was born. But this year, 7 stars were in one straight line. Exactly on June 16th, for a few days. And it started on June 16th. 7 planets, which is like Neptune, Mars, Saturn, Venus, no, Mercury, Uranus, and what else? Pluto, but Pluto is not. Mars. So Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and we missed one. Pluto. Actually, not all 9 of them, but 7. 7 of the planets were in the straight line. Or it started on June 16th, which is the 18th day of the 5th month, lunar month. As some TV stations said 5 of the planets, some said 7 of the planets. So what sign is that? That evening on June 16th, I was seated on the Sama throne. As I walked in, there was a magpie, a bird following me. Did you see? And when I walked out, it followed me out. So I asked Vimalakirti, who's that magpie? And he said, that's me. And he was flying between the parasols of all the parasols during the celebration, my birthday celebration. And he was just flying around. And as I walked out, he walked out too. So this is the 7 planets on a straight line on June 16th, which is the 18th day of the 5th lunar month, which is my birthday. Exactly. And the magpie, the bird, flew in and flew out. And he said that was Vimalakirti. So I asked, where do you live? You know, in a moment you transform into a magpie flying in and you're flying out. Where do you live? Where do you stay? And he replied, inside your heart. What are you doing here? He didn't say anything. He was quiet. So silence is the strike of thunder. And the seven, so what does it mean having the seven planets on a straight line? He didn't say anything. So that's the sound of thunder. So it shows that Grandmaster Lu's exposition of the Vimalakirti Sutra has auspicious signs. It's different from other people, for sure. Definitely different from other people's explanations. This is explained on the surface, but it's different for me. I talk about the thunder. So the thunder marks Vimalakirti. So people is very eloquent or glib, and they can explain so much, and the tongue is so long and can cover everything and subdue everyone. It's better that you don't say anything and keep silent. So even when you don't say a word, you can also subdue the sentient beings to follow you. The greatest sage never say a word. They are very quiet. And only that would be a true lion's roar. That's why this amulet is not given away, because you said some. So, if you had said that Vimalakirti's silence is the sound of thunder, which is more incredible than the lion's roar, then the amulet would be yours. The other day, I was singing, two tigers running very fast, one without ears, one without tail. It's so strange, so strange. It's a children rhyme. So the roar or the growl of a tiger is about the same as a lion's roar. There's this joke. A tiger is very majestic and celebrating birthday on a mountain. And when he growled, everybody bowed. And then he said, "Who dared to come here? I will give you a gift." And nobody dared. All the animals were obedient. And then a cat got near him. "How dare you?" And the cat said, "Hey, before my marriage, I was a tiger too." So before marriage, he was a tiger, but after marriage, he became a cat. So, see, We have a disciple from Norway. Please stand up.
他是要出家的。
He wanted to become a monk.
他是一个博士。
He wants to become a monk. He's a PhD.
他曾经在 Russia 读书哦。
And he studied in Russia.
他翻译了10本俄文，卢师尊10本俄文。
And he has translated 10 of Grandmaster's books into Russian.
那我们出版社啊，也不敢出版，为什
So
么？
our
因为没有人
publisher
看得懂俄文。
does not dare to publish them because nobody
没有人能够校
understands
对。
Russian.
问题
Nobody
是根本没有人能够
can
校对俄文，
review
没有人能够校对。
and proofread them.
出版社也到现在还没有出版它，但是有
So
拿
the
它的这个俄
publisher
文
has
的这
not
个
published them till now.
这个介绍生活中的，好像也有刊登在那个将
But
来如果
the
有机
introduction
缘
to
啊
Buddha school, I
啊
think,
出
has
版
been
俄文的
published.
这个师尊的诗，他翻译的 你翻译
In
的
the
俄文
future,
的
perhaps
俄文的
if
诗
the time is
他现在
right,
挪威，他在
can
挪威，你
publish
读什么科的博
the
士？
Russian books. What field of doctorate degree do you have?
神经科啊，脑神经科啊。
Neurology,
No，
brain neurology.
这是最复杂的一科哎。
That's the most
因为人的脑
complex
不得了啊，人的
because
脑
a
不是
human brain is incredible,
很难读的，
very difficult to
很难懂
study,
的。
very difficult to understand.
你是脑神经的博士，
So brain neurology?
怪不得你不想结婚，
No wonder you
因
don't
为
want
你绝对不
to
会变成猫。
get married because you don't want to become a cat.
你如果结婚了，你就会变成猫了。你不
If
结
you
婚
get
你就是老虎
married, you would become a cat. If you don't get married, you are a
他
tiger.
想要出家啊！我曾经
So
到过
cranial
这个挪威
neurologist. So he wants to become a
去
monk.
跟他讲，叫他来。
I went to Norway and
讲
told him to come to
什么时
Seattle
候出家？
and when to become a monk, right?
他住在挪威耶，你知
He
道挪威
lives
是什
in
么地
Norway.
方？
Do you know where that is?
风光水秀，真的是山明
It's
水秀，
beautiful scenery there
又有山，
with oceans and
又非常的安
waters
静，
and
那里
mountains,
自然又特
very
别的好。
serene
人
and
民
quiet, very
人
safe,
们呐，生活安居乐业，
and people live a
但是唯一的
very,
缺点是没有太
very
阳，
safe
所以
and
很多
peaceful
人得
life.
忧郁症。
But the only
很多人得忧郁
negative
症，
part is that it
有半
doesn't
年
have
等
much
于是半年
sun,
没有
so
太
many
阳。
people are
那
depressed.
个你那时候也
So
跑到挪威嘛，哈，
half a year
你那时候是在那个
without sun. And how about you? You were in Norway?
监理挪威业务，所以去挪威很多次，从南到北到处。
I was in Sweden, but I went to
挪。
Norway from north to south
Norway,
many times.
真的是山明水秀的地方。
And what Grandma said was
是
right.
那里啊，因为太
It's a
阳的
place
时
with
间比较
beautiful
少，
scenery,
所以
but
那里
there's not
所以
much
你
sun there.
那里的人得忧郁症的很多，
So many people
生
there
活
suffer from
也会失
depression
去目标的。
and lose meanings
我
in
们
their
今天呢，
lives
这个讲经
or
说法啊，
goals in their lives.
最重要就是。
So our sutra exposition tonight, the
这
most
个
important
让人有一个
thing
正面，
is
刚刚讲
so
正
that
面
we have the right thoughts
也要有无碍，
and
要去除烦
also
恼，
free from hindrances
去除
to
我
eliminate afflictions, to eliminate attachments
我
to
执
self,
啊，这个烦恼啊，
attachments to self,
这个没有
afflictions,
障碍，
free from
那能够
hindrances,
自己本身成就一个永恒，
that
成就
you
永恒，
can attain
这一点才
eternity.
是重要的。那个
those are important. It's a small matter whether you get married or not. Like Vimalakirti transformed into a magpie. I was very happy to see a magpie. You know why? Because I thought, I'm getting married again. Because magpie in Chinese is a sign of marriage. Wedding. We know that woman brings disasters, but you still like the disasters. If you can be free from afflictions, having the right dharma, free from hindrances, attachments to self eliminated, when the Buddha Dharma reached the highest attainment truly, it is not empty and does not exist. So it's neither emptiness nor existence, but no differences between existence and emptiness. That would be a true Buddha Dharma. So you cannot be biased toward emptiness. Of course, emptiness can alleviate your afflictions. What are you afflicted about? Afflictions are also empty. Everything is empty. And that's good too. But if you think because of the emptiness that, karma is emptiness too, then you neglect it, then this is wrong. Now you're amid the illusory world. Even when there's a slight illusory illusion, that's not empty. Even when there's the slightest consciousness, it's not emptiness. There would still be karma. So the karma cannot be disregarded. Some people say, it's emptiness. Everything is emptiness. I can do anything because whatever I do is empty too. Then you are neglecting karma. So when you still have the slightest conscious mind inside of your mind, although they're illusory, and due to the illusory cause, there would be the illusory effect or result. Don't think that whatever you do has no effects or results. Then you would fall into nihilism. This is important. So if you have or if you create an illusory cause, then you have to suffer the illusory retribution or result. Like what Dharma Sister Jennifer said. She laughed so loudly. During the birthday celebration, wherever you have gone, you would leave marks, and these marks are the results. Will not be empty. So you would always leave traces wherever you've been. So we live in between emptiness and existence. Although the Vajra Sutra is talking about emptiness, about empty nature, and many people have realized and comprehended this emptiness, like the Monkey King, but they are still the results. So the cause and effects or cause and results cannot be neglected, because with an illusory cause there would be an illusory result. The attorney Jennifer Tzu has said it, that there are traces wherever you've been. This is very important. So what we talk about this phrase is The lion's roar resounded throughout all 10 directions. You can be, they can be like the lion's roar, and they name throughout the 10 directions. But Grandmaster explained the lion's roar with thunder, according to the to what Vimalakirti said, silence is the sound of thunder. This is very good. Now, please remember, that's all for tonight.